Hey YouTube, this is Justin the Snap-on Junkie. Alright guys, today is going to be a video about how to clean up all these parts. I'll show you what I'm kind of looking for when I'm inspecting some of this stuff and just how to get it cleaned up. So I got everything set up. We're going to get ready and start cleaning. The first thing I got to clean is the rocker arms because we might have a roller that's bad and the guy wants all new parts put in it. So we're just going to double check everything just to make sure it's right. So I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed the teardown video. This is just the second part of this series, is cleaning and inspecting all the parts. So I'm going to clean the block up. We'll do that later. And then also I kind of have a little surprise towards at the end. All right. And that is what is in this box. It is from Snap-on. And then I'll show you guys that a little bit later. So let's stop wasting time and get right into inspecting these parts here. So the first thing I did when I came in this morning, I just kind of cleaned up and organized because I don't like working in a dirty shop, and it just, you know what I'm saying, like just to kind of fluff everything up. So, you know, get a little bit organized. So as you can tell right here, this is all the rocker arm assembly, Jake assembly, and injectors, cam gear, and things like that. I got some other parts, but this is just the first part that I decided to start with. So what I do is I have these nice little roll around stainless steel cabinets here, you can see. And I put pig mat on everything so really the oil doesn't leak everywhere. This is my $300 Napa parts washing station. It is this brand, Homec. The thing actually works pretty good. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm actually impressed with this little thing. So this is just my parts washing little corner back here, as you can see. So let's get ready and start washing some parts and get this stuff cleaned up. Alright guys, this is me just cleaning some parts up. What I like to do is just get everything cleaned up real nice and neat, and get it organized. I use solvent. I don't like the water-based type stuff, and this is me just cleaning the rocker arms. There is like 3 different sets of rocker arms I got to clean and inspect all those while I am cleaning. And then this is me just what the brake clean does is it really gets the oily type solvent off and gets them pretty clean. You know, it just lets it dry faster, if you get what I'm saying. So you blow all this stuff off, you clean it all up. Sorry if the camera's shaky. This is me just kind of looking at all the stuff, going over it with a fine-tooth comb. All the, you know, like, these things are in really good shape for how many miles are on this truck. So then I just clean and put it down underneath. Here's another Jake assembly. There's 3 of those too. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of sped this along. So this is basically just cleaning parts. So that's about it. And then the next section, after I get it cleaned, I'll show you what I'm kind of looking for when the film goes down to regular speed. But that's really all, you know, this stuff is cleaning about, is just stuff like that. Alright guys, I want to show you something here on these rocker arms. So when you get these all cleaned up, what you're looking for is that these rollers have a nice even drag, and they have this type of finish on them there. You can see, like, it's not, you know what I'm saying, it's really smooth and things like that. And another thing you want to check for is that the rocker arm doesn't move this way on the shaft. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a hardened steel, tool steel shaft, I'm sure of it. I mean, you couldn't bend this motherfucker. You know, you could break it, but it would be really difficult. So what I just wanted to show you is, this is why I started with the rocker arms, because when we took the engine apart, I noticed this right here. See that groove all the way in there? Okay? That is no good, no bueno. So what we're going to have to do is order a rocker arm, just this rocker arm. I've inspected all the other rocker arms, and they're all really good. The rollers are all in really nice shape. Because if you're going to spend $1,000 on a camshaft, this rocker arm, let's say it's $200. You know what I'm saying? It's now your cam is $1,400, but you still want this to be absolutely perfect. So that's one thing that we found that we need to replace in this engine build, is just that. So now we're going to move on to the cam gear and get the cam gears and everything cleaned up, these little parts, all the bolts, and just deuce the ejectors off so we don't get all fucked up. And then as you can see down here, you know what I'm saying, I got everything laid out and how it came out of the engine and everything like that, so we know when we go to put her back the fucking together. Oh, and I got to clean up this shit too. So that's just basically the top end. We're getting a reman head, so the head I'm not going to fuck with too much. But I got the oil pan left, all the other bolts and accessories and everything else like that. And we're also getting a new spacer plate that comes in part of the kit. But that's just it. And that's how I clean parts. So I know that parts cleaning, people probably think, oh fuck, you know, what the fuck you got to do that for? But if you clean and inspect your shit, man, it's just like, you know, you can guarantee your work a little bit better. You know, you're not, then you're really, in my eyes, you're a technician, not just a fucking parts changer. So, alrighty, that's about for that. Alrighty guys, this is me just cleaning up more parts. As you can tell here, I'm working on the cam gear type stuff, just trying to get that all clean. I think I slowed it down here in a second after I get it blowed off. Yeah. Then what I'll be doing is kind of inspecting the gear, just to check out, you know, that we don't have any broken tooth or teeth on the gear or anything like that, and really looking at your wear pattern. That's pretty important, just to decide what kind of gear, you know what I'm saying, just how the engine's been maintained, really. If your gears are all fucked up, you know, then you know the thing hasn't been maintained very well. Like, yeah, right here. See, I'm visually inspecting all those teeth on this little bastard and just getting it, you know, cleaned up. Now, this thing is the bigger cam gear. That was just the idler gear there. This thing has got these magnet things in there, and when the cam's swinging around in the engine, that little magnet type stuff is in there. That's the engine position sensor that plugs into there, so your engine will know where the, you know, the cam and the top dead center, it knows all that stuff basically off this wheel. And this is a pretty heavy fucking part, I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of, you know, so I got all that cleaned up and inspected, you know, and then I think I move on to cleaning up bolts. Now, a lot of people probably, you know, would just clean off bolts, not really pay attention to them, but I really look at bolts because that's how you're going to get torque on your fastener. It's really not necessary, like, you know, on certain types of bolts, but like oil pan bolts and all that stuff, you want a clean surface because like, you know, like a lot of people don't know, like if you use Loctite, it will not stick to an oily surface. We're not going to use Loctite. We're just going to use regular oil and things like that when you're cleaning up
bolts and all that stuff. Trying to look here to see what I'm really cleaning. I got this sped up so fast because I don't think you really want to watch a 13-minute video of me spraying off stuff. All this is the injector hold downs. I'm just cleaning these off, just because you don't want that shit all oily, and it de-soots the engine. Like a diesel engine is sooted pretty heavily. Now the next thing I'm cleaning up here is the injectors, and if you wait a second, you can see that one is different than the other. The other have a yellow top where the electrical piece is, and one of them is white, and it has a QR number. Now with Caterpillar, when you have a QR number, that means that it's a reman part. That means that that part was not original, and definitely means that it was going to be like somebody put an injector in that, and that was in, I do believe it was in number 1 hole. Like it should be coming up here in a second. Just bear with me. So yeah, after I get all these fucking things blowed off. I mean, Top Fuel 101, boys. Parts cleaning. I built a lot of motors. Yeah, you can see the one that's sitting right there on the top. That one right there. That's a different part number and all that type of stuff. So that's the injectors and all that shit cleaned up. Okay, guys, now we're moving on to the bolts. Now, this first bolts I'm cleaning up is the cam gear type of stuff. And I'm going to have to yell at Jim because he left some of my sockets in there. I'm not too happy about that. I like to get everything organized. I blew these little cups out that he had and cleaned those all up. But the cam gear stuff, why it's important to get this stuff really clean, again, is like what I was talked about before in the last little section. Loctite will only stick to itself, so you have to make sure that everything is cleaned out, and really nice for the Loctite to tight glues to stick to each other. That's just a little tech tip. A lot of people just get crazy with the amount of Loctite. There was a lot of Loctite on these, so this tells me this engine's kind of been apart before. And also, like when you're cleaning up little parts like this, like all these bolts, these little strainer baskets are the shit. And I buy a lot of that stuff at McMaster Car. Like I think this little stainless steel fry basket is really what it is. Was like $19 or some shit like that. I really don't remember. But I just like to clean up everything, clean up your containers so your bolts are clean going back in there. And, just clean your bolts. Now, these are the oil pan bolts. These take a little bit longer because for some reason, no matter how much you try, a diesel engine is kind of like, they like to leave their mark. So they leak oil pretty much everywhere. And you'll see the oil pan when we get to that. That thing's an absolute fucking mess. It looks like a bomb went off on it. But that's me getting all the bolts all cleaned up and ready to go. I went through some brake clean. This 3M brake clean, like I said, guys, in my other videos, I really love that shit. So, it's about the best brake clean you can buy out there. All right, guys, this is me moving on to the valve covers. These are the very early style valve covers. Like you notice that the new ones, like this was the very first electronic cat motor that they made, this exact model. I think they call it like a 6TS or something like that. I don't remember. But this is me just cleaning up this valve covers. These valve covers are prone to leak, and these things were a hot mess. This took me quite a lot of bit to get these cleaned up, and all blowed off and cleaned up, just cleaned up, because you just, I like to, when I rebuild something, I like to take my time and really clean everything up. I know it sounds fucked up, but like I'm kind of a neat freak. when it comes to working on things like that. You know, and also the guy wants to, when we overhaul this engine, he wants us to paint it up all nice and neat yellow. So I'll let you guys enjoy me, you know, just cleaning parts. I mean, when you got 7 hours and, you know, cleaning up all these parts, I mean, it looked like we did a pretty good job getting the engine apart in, you know, a couple hours. But this is really the tedious labor part that you guys are paying for if you ever rebuild an engine, you know, is really just getting the stuff cleaned up. And I don't know if you guys work on stuff at your home, you know, if you guys like being, you know, just greasy. I guess you can let me know in the comments. I really don't like it. And also for this video, I tried to work on not having my ass out the whole time. So hopefully people will enjoy not seeing that or whatever. But sorry about that stuff, guys.
Alright guys, I got a little change of thought about how I'm going to clean up this oil pan. I'm still going to put it in the solvent thing, but I'm going to try to get all this nastiness off this motherfucker. As you can see, this thing was fucked up. And the guy should have took this truck to the truck wash before he brought it to us. But I'm going to put this thing in the sink and see if I can do a little better job cleaning it to get all this thick dirt and oil and shit all off of it. Fucking heavy. Okay, that did not work like I thought it would. Alright guys, what I'm going to do is just let this oil pan soak in the parts washer for a little bit, keep moving it around and scrub it up. I'll show it to you when we get it all cleaned up, but the sink idea didn't work because this thing is really, really disgusting. So it's going to take a long time to get this thing fucking cleaned up.
Alright guys, this is me cleaning up this nasty ass oil pan. I scrubbed on it for a good probably 20-25 minutes to get the outside pretty cleaned up and all that stuff. It helps if you let it soak in the solvent for a while, if you get what I'm saying. So this is me just scrubbing away as usual, you know. This thing was pretty nasty, just to try to get, I got the inside of the pan really clean. Like, I'm really happy with it. Later in the video, you'll see it all done and looking jazzy, as I call it, you know. But that's basically cleaning oil pan up.
Alright guys, while I'm working on this stuff, I got everything cleaned up. As you can see, the oil pan looks 100 times better. Now what I'm going to do is work on degasketing everything. Just getting everything kind of cleaned up, inventoried and all in a certain area. It's got a couple more things to clean. The block is going to be a major pain in the ass. And just stuff like that. So getting tired. There's a lot of cleaning to do when you take one of these things apart, just to let you know. Okay, scraping it's not working. We're going to have to go to plan B.
Okay, guys, we got the plan B. And that's a 90-degree die grinder with a... the first thing I tried was a brown Scotch-Brite wheel. That really didn't work all that well. I mean, it does to get to the finish, but the gasket was pretty hard and brittle. And as you can see there on the camera, it's throwing dust and shit just absolutely everywhere. So really what I had to go get was I went and got a sanding wheel. So it was just a 36 grit sanding wheel, and that took it off a lot faster. This takes me quite a long time to use an air tool continuous like that because I have a small compressor, and I really need to get a bigger compressor. Hopefully that's on the list of things that I want to get, is a bigger compressor. But yeah, this is me going to get different for plan B. Really, we're on to plan C now because I thought the Scotch-Brite wheels would take it off. Okay, so now you can see I got that sanded. I'm still sanding it. It takes a long time. That's with the sanding wheel. There, it worked out a lot better. So I think this whole, it took me, I think 15 minutes to get this part done. But really, it was only 15 minutes to actually work, but it was really about an hour to let the compressor build back up.
Okay, guys, what you can see here is I got all the head bolts out there. I got to wire wheel them all up, get them all cleaned up and everything like that. I'm going to put it in this grinder right here and just wire wheel them off to get them kind of douched off. I think I counted 26 of them, but I'm not for sure. So that's what we're going to be doing is, you know what I'm saying, just cleaning all these head bolts off so we can find out if we can reuse them and everything like that. So this will be the next step. I got all the parts clean and ready to go. All I got to do is work on the block, and I'm saving that to last because I'm really not excited about doing it. But this is me cleaning up head bolts.
All right, guys, I got my grinder all set up. I'm about to turn it on here and grind these head bolts. Now, what I'm doing is just cleaning out the threads, really just polishing the bolts up. And also, I'm looking for kind of the same type of thing that I'll show you later on the liners, is that we're looking to make sure that they don't have no rust holes in the outside of the bolts. Some of them are pretty bad. We actually had 4 bolts after I got them all cleaned up and douched off here. There was actually 4 bolts that are questionable. So when we ordered parts, I told him just go ahead and get us 4 bolts of each length. There's a long and a short. I didn't take these out, so I really can't tell you which ones to go back, but where they go. But just stay tuned for the next rebuild series, and I'll explain to where they all go. So this is me, like I said, just wire wheeling all this shit off. I chose to do it this way because I have a bench grinder, but the thing is from Harbor Freight, and it's absolutely a hunk of garbage. And I feel terrible that I wasted my money on fucking that piece of shit. So this little Makita grinder, I'm using a pretty coarse wheel here, and it's stainless, so that's what I'm using. Okay, guys, I got all the bolts cleaned up, ready to go here, as you can see. I'm just putting washers on them and then putting them back in this little bucket, so we got them. All of them look to be in pretty good shape. There's maybe 3 or 4 that's questionable. And it's just from porosity here, if I could figure out. Yeah, like focus. See how that's just got a little bit of, porosity right there, but that's all right.
Well, I'm just gonna sit here and do that, and then guys, we'll move on to the block project. So okay guys, I'm fixing to clean this block up. I know it's probably not the professional way of doing it, but what the fuck ever. I got this little thing. I got to get down in the just in the counter boards down in here, and I'll show you all this stuff after I get the block all cleaned up. Really, it's just douching it out and stuff like that. Cleaning up where the liner boards go just a fucking little bit, and then just spray cleaning it all off and spraying it. That's really all I got.
Okay, guys, this is me getting up there, getting ready to clean this block up. And what I'm doing here is just kind of running this little sander down inside the counter boards just a little bit. I hate working up on. It would have been a lot easier if we should have pulled the motor, but for this much. So then this is me just again brake cleaning and trying to get it all blowed out, just to get all the kind of the shavings and all the shit out of the inside of the engine. And just I can kind of look in there and see the thing is not too bad. I mean, it's not really, really dirty, but this is just for basically my peace of mind. And as you can tell, Jaron from DeGarnett Tools says, he didn't even notice my butt crack in the last video. He noticed that I was rocking the Jordans. And what I'm wearing right there is Jordan 11 lows, the black and red colorway. The Junkie kind of collected shoes for a while, and I got a whole bunch of those. So I just, I wear them to work in, really. But yeah, this is me. Now I'm getting ready to, what I did is Jim has to bring this special thread chaser that he's got at his shop. He forgot it. But this is me just kind of blowing out the brake holes, or the bolt holes, the bolt holes and all that type of shit. Just to get it kind of cleaned up and wipe off the top of the deck and all that stuff. Other than that, I mean, the thing is pretty clean. I'm sure we'll go over it again before we slap her back together. Just simple stuff like that. Okay, guys, I got the block pretty much cleaned up. I think we're at a good stopping point. We'll check it again when we get ready to put everything back together. We still got to put main bearings in this thing. It's probably going to suck, but I don't know. So, as you can see down in here, there's the counter bore. Those are the piston cooling nozzles. If you can see in there, all the stuff looks pretty good. It's all cleaned out. So there's that. And then let me show you kind of something about these liners. So what Caterpillars have is they have a real bad cavitation problem. And what cavitation is I don't know if we can get down in here. So cavitation is right there. If you could see that hole, the holes that are built into the liner, and eventually that'll run through, and then it'll start leaking, into the oil. But why this thing looks so disgusting is Jim told me a couple months ago the guy had an oil cooler problem where the oil cooler failed, and then that just contaminated the stuff, and I guess they didn't clean it out right or whatever. But this engine was definitely in need of an overhaul, and you can tell this is a rod and piston assembly. I have to leave them in there, or I'd take them out and show you kind of some differences between the different versions of the Caterpillar stuff. But I just thought I'd show you these are the liners. So yeah, I know that these are all fucked up, and when we get the rebuild kit, I'll show you the difference between the new shit, which you'll be pretty surprised.
So that was another, I got 7 hours in this thing today, getting all the parts clean. Like if you come over here, so here is all the parts cleaned up. I mean, that oil pan looks pretty fucking good. I got everything laid out, you know, the injectors are clean, all that type of stuff. The oil pump I did not clean because we're getting a platinum kit and that comes with an oil pump, so there's no need to fuck with that. And then this stuff, there's no need to clean this shit up because we're getting new. This is the spacer plate, and then what this is a shim. Okay, and that just shims up your spacer plate. So we'll have to get a new shim and everything like that. I measured it. I don't remember what it was. Jim's got it written down. But that's basically all the parts to the Cat. And then I promised you guys a sneak peek at something, and I'll do that here in a second. Okay, guys. I want to thank you for watching this video today. And also, I'd like to shout out a guy that talked to me over Instagram. The guy name is Ty White Guy 13, and him and his buddies, now this is shocking as shit to me, him and his guys that he works with, they watch my videos during lunch. And they work in a Volvo dealership in the King of Prussia, in Pennsylvania. In the King of Prussia, they work in a Volvo dealership. So I would like to shout you guys out. Thanks for watching my videos. It is unbelievably that there's people watching my stuff, you know, during their lunch break as a group together. Thank you guys so much. Also, you know, like, comment, subscribe to my channel so you can be like these guys. Follow me on Instagram. And here's the sneak peek, guys. So what do we have here? This is the shelf to my side locker that I ordered, and this is the color of my new toolbox. It is called Sapphire Blue, so hopefully we'll have that in a couple weeks. Also, the dudes in King of Prussia at Volvo, don't spit out your lunch when I shout you guys out, because I know you'll be laughing. And thank you for having your Snap-on guy watch me too. It's really appreciative, you know what I'm saying? And remember, snaponjunkie.com, buy your stickers and sweatshirts, guys. We got to get rid of these sweatshirts because I got something else that I want to do, but I got to sell the sweatshirts first. So, you know what I'm saying? Please buy those. They're $45, which is not too bad. Thank you for watching today. The next video should be out sometime this week when we're going to be putting this son of a bitch back together. So thank you for today, guys.